Didn't see there. I'm at the Toronto Zoo. Come on, let's take a look at animals in captivity. Reasons why I believe animals in captivity is wrong. Cages are too small. Separated from their family. Never experienced natural life. Boredom and depression.
But I wish there was the way we treated the world and took care of the natural habitat. We didn't have to have zoos in captivity. That would be the perfect world, but the way we treat our surroundings and the way we're I'm horrible at this, but the way we're destroying the planet, it's not leaving a lot of options for the animals that we house in zoos to sustain a good population. So there are animals that are within the zoo that we do have conservation projects for, and we reintroduce them back into the wilds. Some of those animals probably wouldn't exist if it wasn't for zoos, and in the future there's probably going to be more and more of those animals that wouldn't exist if it wasn't for zoos. I think proper zoos are ethical. There are other zoos that aren't. I think you need to have proper accreditation and governance and things like that to run a zoo properly. And there has to be a good amount of enrichment and training involved in the zoo to keep the animals active and stimulate their minds and things like that. If you have all those things, a diet as close to their wilds, the diet they would eat in the wild and things like that, I think it is ethical. As far as other zoos, I don't think some of them are ethical, but
Captivity here.
How do I feel about keeping animals in captivity?
What's your thought on it? Is it good or bad?
There's good and bad to keeping animals in captivity, obviously. There's a big problem with species disappearing in the wild.
Alright Whitney, so at the end of this trip, do you believe that it is morally right or morally wrong to keep animals in captivity?
I believe that there's most definitely its pros and cons and different reasons why we could and probably shouldn't keep animals in captivity. Of course, there's going to be positives and negatives to most things, but here it's really important because, like we learned before, every animal in this zoo, except for the kangaroos, is in danger. So because we're keeping them here and we're breeding them, we're increasing their population and therefore making them safer.
Alright Emily, so after the end of this trip, do you believe that it is morally right or morally wrong to keep animals in captivity?
I think it depends on the type of zoo you're in. A zoo like Toronto Zoo, as we are in today, has very sufficient habitats for the animals, but other zoos such as little like mom and pop ones or what is it called, petting zoo, those things maybe not so much, where they don't have very much freedom to roam around and play, and probably don't have as much to eat. But here they have zookeepers for each captive animal.
Alright Shona, at the end of this day, do you believe that it is morally right or morally wrong to keep animals in captivity?
I'd say morally right, because what most people said was if they were still in the wild, they'd be gone. And the only reason that they aren't extinct is because they're in zoos and being kept like this.
Pros of keeping animals in captivity.
Zoos care for animals in need. Protect animals that do not have a habitat anymore. Give medicine to injured animals that would die without care. By keeping animals in captivity, they try to save species.